I have two pieces of line here on top, just sitting here on top of the kite to show you something that is really easy and simple, but very, very useful in fighter kite flying, especially if you're relatively new. This could be very helpful for you. Let's say that this line right here is this part of the bridle, this lower line of the bridle. And on the bridle, this is called the toe point. This is where your flying line attaches to the kite right here. And let's say that this is what this is right here. And I'm going to tie it onto the bridle. And the way I do it is using a lark's head knot. And when I make the knot, you can do it either way, but I put it under the line I'm attaching it to. It's just a loop. I tied this with an overhand knot. That's very simple. Then I put the knot over the line I'm attaching it to and through the loop. And pull it tight. That makes a lark's head knot. The beauty of a lark's head knot is it can be adjusted to be located anywhere along that line. Just slide it. Once you're at the point you want it to remain, you pull it tight like that, and you can feel that it kind of snaps, which locks it in position so that it can't move anymore along this line. And if you need to readjust it, you simply pull on the line and it unlocks, and now you can move it again and you can lock it again. So very useful knot, very simple. And that's what I use on all my kite bridles to attach the lower bridle line on a 3-point bridle. I put a loop on one end right here, and I attach that, just like I showed you here, to this piece, which is the upper bridle yoke, is what I call it. It's simply a piece of line that's attached to the bow on either side of the spine, usually about 1.5 inches or so on either side of the spine. Now then you attach a lower bridle line and tie it to the spine, lower on the spine towards the tail. This point right here very often is about 1/3 of the total length of the spine measured from the tail to this point, or close to it. That's a very common location that works well. So now, in adjusting a kite, let's say it's a new kite that you just made, or maybe someone gave it to you, or maybe you bought it. And if it has a 3-point bridle, first thing you want to do is to pull tight on this upper part to unlock this so that you can adjust it to be directly on top of the center of the spine right here. Then you want to open it up to lock it. Pull it tight. And then you want to adjust the toe point by pulling on the lower bridle to unlock the knot. Slide it. And you want the kite to start flying. You want the kite to have its tail resting on the table, and the nose of the kite, you want it to be about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches off of the table when the tail of the kite is on the table. That's the angle that allows the kite to fly well and for you to be able to control it quite well. Once that is done, then I open this up. This is just another loop. Pull it tight to lock it. And that's how I start when I'm flying any new kite. I adjust the bridle in this way that I just showed you, go to the flying field and begin to fly the kite. If the kite is not behaving the way I want it to, I begin adjusting this or this in order to make it fly the way I want it, or at least closer. And until you experience it a little bit, you won't know exactly what to do. So the first thing is, if the kite seems to be spinning all the time and you just can't get it to fly straight at all, then it means that this adjustment here is too close to the nose of the kite. And it needs to be moved down towards the tail, maybe a 1/4 inch, and then relock it, and then try flying it again. And it should be less spinny at that point. And you keep doing that until you're able to get the kite to fly straight. When you pull hard on the flying line, the kite will fly straight. It will not always be turning in one direction or the other. So that's the first step. And the next step is if it always turns only in one direction, let's say it always turns to the right and never turns to the left or never flies straight, then this adjustment up here is what you work on. If it is set to be in the center of the spine here, and the kite is turning to the right all the time, it means that when the kite was made, the materials in the kite were not or are not totally uniform on the right side versus the left side of the spine. Doesn't mean the kite was poorly made. Although a poorly made kite might have a little more radical turning like that, it's usually just the materials themselves. So if it's turning to the right, it means that this part of the bridle on the right-hand side of the knot right here, the lark's head knot, that is too short. It means that you have to open that up by pulling on both sides, sliding the knot to the left a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch, opening this up and locking it again at that point. And you can see now it's not right on the spine, it's a little ways off, but it makes this a little longer. Fly it, and if it is now flying straight or straighter, you know you're doing the right thing. Come back and do it again until you have it flying straight and no longer turning always to the right. I hope this has been useful for you.